All right, a thread from Carlos Osuida responding to a Tim Pool post about removing U.S. bombers from Guam. Thread. No, the U.S. didn't remove its bombers from Guam because the Chinese have a weapon that can wipe them all out. This was a long-planned change in strategy. Quote, the transition to a dynamic force deployment model allows the bombers to operate from a broader array of overseas locations with greater resilience while keeping the aircraft permanently based in the U.S., AFGSC said. An article from airforcemag.com, Air Force ends continuous bomber presence in Guam. This is why everybody should learn about weapons before expressing opinions on them. From the article, dynamic deployments of task force-sized group of bombers will be more effective in the future. The dynamic force employment concept allows for the Air Force and broader military to be strategically predictable and operationally unpredictable. Another article from the Aviation Geek Club, impressive elephant walk ends United States Air Force continuous bomber presence in Guam. Guess what they're not telling us? One bomber can now do the damage of a full wing. New weapons mean similar units have exponentially greater firepower. The Saudis train Yemeni special forces. Watch one Yemeni wipe out an entire Iranian and Houthi patrol in hand-to-hand combat. Now you're going to find the video for this, link in the description. Check it out once you get done with this video. It's amazing. We're going back to an idea that the Germans invented 100 years ago. I never understood why it was abandoned. You create very small units that have every single weapon available: infantry, artillery, armor, air power, and now space power. I think political leaders clung to the idea of wars, of expansion or occupation or regime change. The new war is to simply make the enemy stop fighting. We aren't going to get involved in regime change or occupation or expansion. What we need are small, lethal units. We're going to have small, outrageously armed units all over the Pacific. If necessary, they'll obliterate a Chinese attempt at expansion by force, but we won't invade China or Iran. Ever. This is why we don't need enormous fleets of bombers and tanks and endless brigades of soldiers. It is now possible to fight major conflicts in total secrecy. Clandestine warfare is smart warfare. James Mattis resigned because he was old school. Mattis wanted Pelosi and Schumer to tell him what to do. The War Powers Resolution of 1973 requires the President to notify Congress of all military actions within 48 hours of them being taken. Also, troops can't be committed for more than 60 days without a congressional authorization for the use of military force. So what happens when Congress is lawless and will do anything to destroy the President? Well, the War Powers Resolution is almost certainly unconstitutional. In the past, the President asked Congress to declare war, but there's no way we could trust today's politicians with that kind of power. You've seen what Democrats have done during the pandemic. Imagine the police states that would instantly pop up if Congress declared wars. Most presidents have ignored the War Powers Resolution, and I approve. I'd much rather worry about one person than 435 members of Congress and 50 governors. It's actually all moot, since whatever wars we fight are going to be over in a matter of hours. Syria and Iraq are different, since they began under the old paradigm, and Bush and Obama screwed everything up nonstop. The actor, Sir Christopher Lee, was one of the first British Special Air Service members. He lived to be 93. but never spoke about what he did. I have no problem with that. During the Obama years, our special operations units couldn't keep their mouths shut. I'm hoping that after everybody is essentially special operations forces, there won't be any need to flap gums. It'll happen, I think.